Welcome back to Grassroots Radio Colorado. This is Kris Cook. I have Cori and Andy Pate of the Party of Choice. We are laughing today. It's been a fun day.
We're a little slap happy. I think we're all kind of tired.
I think so. There's a certain amount of exhaustion that sort of sinks in this life, trying to do all these different things. We all have regular jobs too, and it's hard. But these conversations are so important. And these issues are so important. You can't just leave them on the back burner. So having some of these tools, being able to go out and have these conversations effectively and get through to people and get them to understand, at least from our perspective, make sure that we're not looking like the party of evil or the party of stupid. We always get stuck in one of those, sometimes both. Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of what I've seen in social media regarding this whole Jeffco thing has definitely stuck us in that box, party of evil and stupid, which has been very awful. So we have to have these conversations with grown-ups too, sometimes. And, specifically, if we start talking about vouchers, we start talking about choice, getting away from putting everybody in this single little box, which is about the only way to do that is going to be vouchers. You get pushback, right?
Huge
pushback.
The biggest pushback you get is the religious school argument. They say, "Hey, look, okay, you can do it maybe, but you can't have religious schools involved," and that is the beginning of just burning the voucher system down. Okay. And so, because the main thing, and I probably hear it 10-1 over every other piece of opposition, is tax dollars going to religious schools.
Right.
That is a violation of the separation of church and state.
It's not, but.
It's not. But what I do, can I say I
No, Andy, you cannot speak.
You never let me speak. He never lets me speak. And Mama loved you more. Okay, here's what I say, and I love this. I love it when that comes up. I say, let me tell you something. I believe in vouchers because I love separation of church and state. I love it. No, it wasn't in the Constitution, but I love it. Okay? What is the greatest religious decision? It's between is there a God and is there not a God? I will either believe in God or I won't believe in God, or gods, whatever, right?
Right.
That's the greatest religious decision, God or no God. And I say, I don't want tax dollars influencing that decision at all. And the problem with the current situation is they're heavily influencing that decision.
On the side of no God.
Exactly. And here's why. Let's look at evolution creation. I don't care which one you believe. That's your call. Okay, I'm a creationist. But let's say, you can say, imagine within each person there's an inner scale. Okay, and every person is deciding, gee, do I believe in God or not believe in God? And on the one side of the scale is the yes side, and the other side is the no side. And you're piling up evidence and stuff on each side in this decision, is there a God and no God? One can argue that the teaching of evolution doesn't favor either side, because they can say, well, you can believe in theistic evolution, God-guided evolution, or you can believe that there was no God necessary. Okay, fair enough, if you want to go that way.
Right.
That would mean that it adds no weight to the yes side. Right. Fair enough. But evolution adds absolutely crucial tons of weight to the no side. You can't – you have to – if either you believe that we came through long random processes over millions and billions of years that were unguided by God, or you believe that we were created. It's one or the other. It's got to be some form of evolution, or it's got to be creation. And so – the teaching of evolution is absolutely critical. Trust me, as a former evolutionist atheist, it's absolutely critical to atheism. You can't support it without evolution teaching of some sort. And so now let's look at that inner scale. You're putting no weight on one side, the yes side. You're putting enormous tons of weight on the no side.
Okay. By
only teaching one of the two. Now,
right.
By the way, I don't want creationism taught in the schools. I really don't want the teachers trying to teach that. But here's where I'm going with this. The current system, now if you look back over the last 60, 70 years of our country, with only one side being taught in the schools, adding no weight to one side, immense weight to the other, have the people in our country been running more to God or away from God?
Away.
It's not even close, right?
Right.
That inner scale is being messed with by your tax dollars. Now, there are three ways that you can combat that. Okay, number one, you could you can have like science taught with no talk of origins, and there's plenty of good curricula that do that. Just teach straight science.
Right.
You know, what causes what, no talk of origins. You can do that, or you can say, well, let's teach both sides. A lot of opinion there. I don't think it would work. Or you can say vouchers. Let's let parents control where their kids are taught.
Right.
That way, families, which already direct religious decisions or impact them, are not messed with by state money.
That's your concept.
Yeah, the inner scale. The inner scale argument really totally defeats the idea of, vouchers would have tax dollars violating church and state by going to religious schools. No, you're violating that right now.
Right.
And what I want to do is undo that and let everybody choose where their kids go to school. And, oh, gee, by the way, religious people pay taxes too.
Yeah. Well, exactly. And I mean, I guess my gut instinct on that, which is, as always, wrong, but
I don't think so.
but my gut instinct, when I'm confronted with that, is there is no separation of church and state, and I start taking the constitutional perspective, and I start deconstructing. Read the First Amendment, and I pull out my pocket constitution, and make them read the First Amendment. Not the way to make friends and influence people. Okay.
Well, there is no separation of church and state in the way that they are putting it. You're absolutely right.
Right.
But the idea of the state not impacting religious decisions, yeah, that's a good thing. I'm all for that.
Not impacting religious decisions, I'd be fine with, and that's and that's exactly okay. So having that inner scale, being able to show them that you're already making those decisions for me, you're making my religious decisions for me. That's the piece that I think I've been missing.
Yeah, right now we're putting heavy weight on one side, no weight on the other at best.
Right.
And we're doing it with tax dollars.
Even worse, yeah.
Let's stop that by letting parents decide where the kids go and what kind of settings they're raised in.
Right.
Yeah. You've got basically four you got four parents. One who says, well, I want my kid in schools that don't discuss origins. The next one, well, I want my kid in a school that discusses both sides. The third one says, I want my kid in schools that discuss only creationism. That's our thing. And the fourth one, I only want evolution taught to my kids. Okay, so you got four different parents. All of them are paying tax dollars, and one of them, their way, dominates all.
Right.
Is that fair?
That's not choice.
No, and it's been 60, 70, 80 years of moving the country away from a belief system using tax dollars.
Right.
I don't want that done with any belief system.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and the first thing that people may come back at you with is, well, you can put your kids in a private school.
That's another one. Yeah, exactly.
So, Andy's better at explaining that one, but...
Oh, no. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, basically, yeah. If we pay twice...
Yeah, we'll make you pay twice as much for your kid's education to get the education you want.
Yeah, I've already paid my taxes, and you're going to make me pay again so that I can have people unteach what... that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's not fair. And this is the big thing that we are seeing in Jefferson County, that we're seeing with all these issues. We on the right are pushing for a level playing field. Folks, don't let anyone tell you differently. You are pushing for a level playing field. You are pushing for freedom. You are pushing for liberty. You are pushing for people to make their own choices and direct the education of their kids. And you are looking for not having your ways forced on others with tax dollars. You're the good guys. Don't ever think differently.
Well, okay, let me push back on that just a little bit. Level playing field is going to be a dog whistle to liberals.
Okay.
It is going to be a dog whistle because some people need extra help. Some people have been victimized to the point where they can't, these students are from poor inner city Denver.
Right.
These students are from, don't have the kind of advantages that the folks down in Highlands Ranch have or whatever. So we don't want it to be level. We want to bring these kids up.
Well, actually, the way that you make it level is by allowing the parents in the inner city to choose what school their kids go to, too.
Exactly.
Because why should they be forced to be in substandard schools where the violence and crime rate are so high and they can't focus on learning because they're scared of their classmates? Why not allow them to take those tax dollars that they're paying, because they care about their kids too, and put them in a school that has lower crime rate and better test scores?
Right.
And higher performing teachers.
Even if that's a religious school.
Yeah, exactly.
I also believe in a thing called, I like a graduated voucher system. And what I mean is this. You have the base voucher amount. That'll go to any school that the parent chooses. But you also take into account all the various districts of the state, what their crime rates are. This school is going to need this much security equipment and so forth to adapt. This school is going to need, in Loveland, it'll need very little. In 5 Points, it's going to need very much, and so forth. And also factor in the cost of living of the area for the teachers, because they got to live there. And I would have those two things, and possibly a third thing dealing with kids who are challenged, mentally challenged for various reasons.
Okay.
And I would have, so you'd have the base voucher amount, and then based on the security needs of each school, an additional amount for that, small or large, and obviously for the teachers for the cost of living in the area. And that way, every school is going to be equally safe.
Right.
And the teachers will be able to live in each one and be able to do all these great things about helping our kids succeed.
That would be pretty amazing. All right, The Party of Choice. Where do we find you guys?
thepartyofchoice.com. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+.
You are all over the place.
We are. Can't get rid of us.
Folks, I very much encourage you to check out The Party of Choice. You guys are just incredible. And I mean, the fact that you're teaching me how to message, how to have these conversations, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
And I think this is just great. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Tomorrow is Friday. I will be in here tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock. We do have a Common Core expert coming on, and I think it's going to be a fascinating conversation. So please join me at 5 p.m. tomorrow evening. Until then, good night, Colorado.